If you're a consultant or you run a service-based business where you are interfacing with clients over Zoom or virtual meetings, in this video, I want to talk to you about how you can leverage virtual assistants or overseas talent to massively streamline your meeting process and task documentation and follow-up process with your clients to save you a ton of time and delight your customers with an amazing experience. So that's what I want to talk about in this video. Stick around.
So other unique things. Let's talk about that. Unique things that when we said, some people say that
unique tasks,
like people are saying, oh, I don't know if there's enough work that I could give this person. What are some of the things that we've come up with or that we've recognized? Oh, wow, we could have someone else doing this for us. What are your favorites?
Yeah, so one of my favorites is, so as you know, my business, I do automation consulting specifically for painters. So by the way, plug, if you are a painting company between 6 and 10 million in revenue, call me because I can help you. But one of the things that in my day, client meeting day, I'll have between 4 and 6 meetings that are generally 45 minutes to an hour long. And I would try to, you just imagine like client calls. You're reviewing what's happened in the last week. You're talking about the next objectives, creating to-dos, and then you need to take those to-dos and put them into project management software, send out a follow-up email, maybe if you're good. And I was doing all of this. So I would go from one meeting and the meeting would run long and then the next one would start. And then I would be like, okay, I got to go back and remember, like at lunchtime, I've had 4 meetings now and I got to remember, okay, what happened in the first meeting? Just the pile up of this busy work, essentially.
Yeah. I come from a healthcare background, and anyone in healthcare knows that waiting to the end of the day to do your documentation is a nightmare because you will not remember anything you did.
Yeah. So I had this idea of I want help with just taking meeting minutes and then sending a follow-up email. So I wanted to create this process of like a standard operating procedure of when there's a meeting, I got a virtual note taker and I had that in all of my meetings. So the note taker would just record the whole meeting. And then I came up with a system where a VA would come in, watch the recording. And again, this was kind of flexible because as long as the client got the email within like 6 to 7 hours of the meeting, it still is like reasonably soon enough that I didn't have to have that virtual assistant live. They could watch the meeting in, after the fact. And occasionally there would even be like random, like, hey, I'll look up to see if XYZ is possible. They look that up and they're able to solve that and write in the meeting minutes this, hey, we did this. It's not, we can't do this or we can do this. But they could also write down all the to-dos that I had to do, all the to-dos that the client had to do with timestamps of when we're going to get those done, and also timestamps in the meeting recording of when this was talked about, what was the context. And then the other major win was they can actually take those to-dos for my team and go put that into Asana or Smart Suite or Airtable or whatever project management system you're using. And I tell you, I'm not kidding. You can probably tell from your perspective, the first week that we had this process dialed.
Yeah. The mental load of worrying that you're dropping a ball and missing a task is so significant and hard to quantify that knowing that you have someone that's literally double checking everything that you said you were going to do, it's massive. It's so massive for a busy entrepreneur or business owner that's trying to just make sure that every box is being checked, and you have someone that's not only writing it out for you, but then also making sure that you're following up on it.
And I would say from the client perspective, like how many times have you hired a consultant and then gotten this beautiful email of like, here's what we talked about, here are the to-dos, here's when the to-dos are due, and then telling each person, like, it's incredible. Yeah. It was absolutely, I literally felt like I got rid of 80% of my work, even though it was, a percentage of the time, but it was something that was so draining and I felt like I was failing at that. Getting that off my plate, like, plus the boost of people being like, oh, wow, this is so helpful. It was fantastic.
So now your meetings can go long. Just kidding. That's passive aggressive.
I hope you found this valuable. If you're interested in the full-length conversation, I'm going to put the link to that down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching. If the video was valuable, please like the video. If you're a painter, subscribe because we are here just for you. Our mission here is to free you up to do what you love, and we work exclusively with painting companies. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you in the next video.